Good morning, Plattsburgh. My name is Connor Ryan,
And my name is Chris Sperano.
and welcome to the Burghy's Sunrise Special.
Our team has worked hard for the last few months to create packages for your viewing pleasure.
Now, start off, our very first package was produced by Isaiah Bullock, Mac Kelleher, and Michael Merced. And it's all about mental health.
Mental health.
So, what are your opinions on mental health services provided on campus?
Oh, I think it's extremely important, especially this time of year during final exams. You know, it's a lot of hard work and it gets to you mentally. And at times you need someone to speak to. So it's extremely important.
Yeah, I know personally that I've struggled in the past, especially during finals week. You know, it's a lot of stress, a lot can happen, and it's always good to talk to someone if you're feeling anxious, stressed out. It's always good to talk it out with someone.
Sure, and not even just for finals, but the whole semester. You know, the whole semester, the whole year, you can have someone to talk to, whether it be academic issues, social issues, issues in your dorm, anything you want to let out, you have that person that you can speak to.
Yeah. All right. Enough of our banter. Let's take a look at the package.
SUNY Plattsburgh is a great college, and there are a lot of positive things about going to school here. There is a lot to do here, a lot of majors to look at, a lot of majors to study, and a lot of people to meet. But not everyone has an easy time here.
I've seen even though it's a small campus, there's kind of a lack of community, a lack of connectionness, especially with the way our world is going. A lot of times, many people say they're alone, they feel lonely, it's isolating, and then in terms of cliques.
Some people have a hard time adjusting to campus life. That can be for any number of reasons. For some people, the campus can be a lonely place. Many people believe Gen Z's over-reliance on social media and online connections leads to a sense of loneliness in real life.
I would say, again, that sense of community and friendships, especially with the way our generation is going. I don't know if you're familiar with the term of how our generation is one of the loneliest, especially with social media on the rise. Even though we're able to connect with each other online, there's still that sense of isolation, that sadness, and not having that companionship, if you will.
For others, there is the pressure of studying in classes and tests. And for others still, it's simply the cold Plattsburgh weather.
I've seen even though it's a small campus, there's kind of a lack of community, a lack of connectionness, especially with the way our world is going. A lot of times, many people say they're alone, they feel lonely, it's isolating, and then in terms of cliques.
For incoming freshmen who find themselves on their own for the first time in their lives, it can be a big adjustment.
I feel like mental health can be a pretty big problem in college, especially for first years.
The good news is that students suffering from mental health issues, there are resources on campus.
Those who are struggling with anything related to mental health or are at least curious know that they can come here to Ward, where we have certain counseling services, which are all totally free. And there's also a student health center, same counseling services with counselors who are a bit more experienced. And these are for literally any student on campus who, is struggling with anything mental health wise or is even a little bit curious.
He works at the Ward Hall Counseling Clinic, where students can drop by if they are struggling. Sometimes what a student might really need is someone to talk to about what they are feeling. Many young people go through bouts of anxiety and depression, and it can be helpful to share those experiences with a trained professional. Mental health struggles are common. If you are going through a rough patch, don't think you're the only one.
I've suffered from mental health issues, and I know a lot of people who have also, so it's a very important issue.
Mental health is an enduring issue, not only here at SUNY Plattsburgh, but all around the world. If you are struggling with mental health, you can make an appointment at the Ward Hall Counseling Services Clinic by calling 518-564-2046.
Stigmatized within our communities. It's also very not cared for. People will say you're just being dramatic. So I think it should definitely be prioritized.
Remember, No matter what you are going through, there are people who can help. For more information, call 518-564-2046.
I would say, even though many people say they don't need mental health, there is no shame in getting mental health. There's no shame in getting help. We all need help sometimes. That's just the nature of being human.
Stay tuned for our next package, all about campus food, after these messages.
This is a public service announcement brought to you by SUNY Plattsburgh.
I run red lights. Not in busy areas, only in areas that I know I could get away with it, and I know I could survive.
Don't run red lights, even when you think it's safe. Always wait for green.
Our next package about campus dining is Jeremy, Zebulon, Locke, and our very own Connor.
So, the students my group interviewed, we asked them, what their opinions were on campus dining ever since the Downer sat closed.
Right.
For renovation, of course. We heard, a variety of opinions. A lot of people saying it was good. Some saying it was bad, disappointed. But, I want you to know, what's your opinions on dining on campus?
I've always liked the dining on campus. I know the Sundowner has been closed this past semester. But to me, it hasn't really had much of an effect because I didn't go to Sundowner that much anyway.
You missed out. You're missing out.
I missed out. Well, earlier you had told me about the mac and cheese that they had there. Tell me about that.
Oh, the mac and cheese was delightful. It was they always had mac and cheese on Monday. It was mac and cheese Mondays. It was like a holy holiday for me. So delicious. But enough of me talking.
Our banter, yep.
Let's take a look at the package. Hi, my name is Connor Ryan, and I'm here at SUNY Plattsburgh. Ever since the closing of the Sundowner, campus has tried to offer compensation for this change by offering increased dining hours and more dining options. But are the students satisfied with this change? What do they think? Let's go find out. We interviewed several students across multiple dining locations on campus, with each student having varied opinions. To start the interview, we asked what their thoughts were on the food quality provided.
Overall, I'd say out of 5, a 4. I get a bacon, egg, and cheese here and a coffee every day, and it's a good bacon, egg, and cheese. But sometimes it does take a while.
At Clinton, I would say a 2. Yeah, I do not like the food there. It makes me really sick every time I eat it. So I'd have to give it a pretty low rating, yeah.
There's a lot of different options, and also I know that the food's being made fresh and it's pretty tasty, so.
Next, we wanted to know how healthy and sustainable the food is.
I would say so, yeah. I mean, I keep looking over at my bacon, egg, and cheese, just is that healthy? Yeah, I think so. It's do I only ever eat bacon, egg, and cheese? Kinda. I do wish the Downer was open already, because that was, in my opinion, a lot healthier than Clinton.
I feel like there's a healthy variety of food for sure, but for Clinton being the main dining hall, I am disappointed, I guess, is the way to say it.
Yeah, because there's a lot of different places where you can get salad. You can also get protein, which is pretty good. There's a lot of vegetables. I know that for a fact that the food I'm eating is healthy too. It's pretty good. Finally, we asked the students what their overall opinion was.
Overall, I mean, I'm on the bumped up meal plan. I eat meals on campus literally every day. It's the only reason I can sustain myself and my sense of living. So I think overall it's pretty good.
I'd give it out of 10, a solid 8 probably. I think it's pretty good as long as I'm not eating at Clinton.
8 out of 10.
Well, now we know what students think of campus dining. Come to think of it, all this food has made me quite famished. See you all at the dining halls.
Our next package also pertains campus food with a look at the construction of the dining hall. Stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Moby Waters, heir to the Waters Water fortune. And I thought, what better way to spend my newly inherited money on making water even better? Introducing H2O2! Don't believe me? Here's a satisfied customer!
Ah, that tastes refreshing.
That's right, H2O2, the last drink you'll ever need. Ain't that right, Tim? Call now!
Next, we go to our third package produced by Justin, Ron, and Nick. All about the Sundowners construction. So, I've been hoping and praying that the Sundowner is open by fall because, not fall.
Well,
what am I saying?
The spring. The spring,
Thank you.
yeah.
Listen, finals are starting
Finals.
to get to me.
I know. We're all losing it.
Yeah, but I miss the Downer. I want to be here for my last semester and like the Downer.
And
be
have
open.
the Downer be open. Now, I know they started construction, I believe, at the end of the spring semester of 24, and they've been continuing it throughout the fall semester. Yeah. Supposedly, it's supposed to open up by next semester. Do you think that's going to happen?
January 27th, they said they're having a ribbon cutting.
They're having a ribbon cutting, really?
Yeah.
Well, I assume the president's going to be there then, huh?
I would imagine, yeah.
I could imagine, yeah. So, I'm excited to see it open too.
Yeah.
I think they're supposed to be doing a lot of renovations, making new food.
Have high hopes for that.
Me too.
But
Me too.
Let's take a look at what our students think.
In the ACC and brings people together. Hall in SUNY Plattsburgh, formerly known as the Sundowner, or shortened to Downer by most, is currently under renovations, and students have a lot of opinions about it. The dining hall has been under renovations for the entire semester, and there have been many rumors that it will still be under construction by next. Hall in SUNY Plattsburgh, formerly known as the Sundowner, or shortened to Downer by most, is.
Okay.
So,
and we're back.
And we're back. Sorry about that, everyone. After this short break, right, we're gonna take a look at our fourth package. Was that right?
The fourth package, I believe. Yeah. Yes.
About on-campus about the on-campus newspaper. Stay
Very
tuned.
good. Stay tuned.
How it's affected them.
I did, yeah, the past 2 semesters. They had good food.
I ate the Sundowner almost every day. That was the go-to spot for me, and it was. I would assume it was the go-to spot for a lot of people, considering how busy it would typically get on most days, especially with late night. It was definitely upsetting at first because it took away a lot of options, because the Downer wasn't just one specific spot like Halal Shack. They had multiple different spots that you can order food from, so getting rid of that took away a lot of the variety, and it was definitely very upsetting.
It sucks, honestly. Having to only have Halal Shack and Tim's is kind of bad, because eating the same thing over and over again.
It does become tough, especially during the cold seasons. I live in McDonough Hall, which is quite a distance, from Clinton. When the Sundowner was open, I was able to just walk there, which took maybe half the time. How does it impact my diet? It doesn't really impact it too much. I mean, Lord knows I ate a ton at Clinton. I'll have 3 dishes. I'll have my dinner meal, my sub-dinner meal, then I'll have my desserts.
Honestly, it impacted a lot, because now I don't really eat a lot. Like, I only have like a meal a day. And I know that's bad, but it would be a big one. And just from it not being there, and then me going to the Cardinal Market, I could say it's good in some way, but at the same time it's bad, because I'm only eating one meal.
To find out more about the Sundowner renovations, we reached out to the SUNY Plattsburgh College Auxiliary Services. We asked them why they decided to renovate the Sundowner, and they had this to say. The College Auxiliary Services and Chartwells decided to renovate the Sundowner to provide a more up-to-date experience for our students. The previous space did not have many modern amenities that our students expect. We believe that food brings people together and want to provide a space that delivers excellent food within a fun atmosphere. When will the Nest open? The Nest is set to open at the beginning of the spring semester with a ribbon cutting on Monday, January 27th. What makes the Nest different from other dining options on campus? In addition to the new stations, the Nest will feature different types of seating for our students to congregate whether collaborating on a group project or hanging out with friends. How will the Nest satisfy students that aren't happy with the current dining options on campus? The Cardinal Nest will provide a welcome variety for students, bringing a global flavor to campus. The Nest provides a hangout space for students in the ACC and brings people together.
Now, our next package surrounds the on-campus newspaper. Stay tuned. Some technical difficulties. On-campus newspaper, Cardinal Points. Stay tuned, everyone.
Has this ever happened to you? Tired of constantly being attacked by squirrels whenever you walk outside? Try Squirrel Repellent Spray, the only spray that repels squirrels. Call now at 1-800-NOT-A-SCAM. That's 1-800-NOT-A-SCAM.
So, our fourth package was produced by Andrew, Gigi, and Liam.
So, you were talking about the Cardinal Points, and I heard they're going to be doing it now bi-weekly.
Yes, like bi-weekly, I mean like one article, like one newspaper produced every 2 weeks. Yes.
Yeah.
Which would be amazing because I'm pretty sure I had the same Cardinal Points newspaper sitting in our common area kitchen for like over a month.
Over a month. Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, though. I've looked at...
I mean, no diss to Cardinal Points. Like, you guys do, like, amazing.
Oh, yeah, no. I've looked at the Cardinal Points magazine, and it's very professionally done.
Yes.
You really got a talented crew of people putting all these stories together and doing it in quite a quick time.
Yeah.
So they do an extremely good job with it, but...
Yeah. Well, let's take a look at what our fellow classmates had to say about this package.
Let's take a look.
While many have never picked up a newspaper, student-run publications continue to thrive on campuses worldwide. At SUNY Plattsburgh, one of the nation's most historic student newspapers, Cardinal Points remains a vital voice for the community. An independent publication since the 1990s, Cardinal Points is published weekly during the academic semester, covering a diverse range of issues. With sections dedicated to news, sports, arts and cultures, and opinions, the paper provides a platform for students to engage with the issues that matter most. While many students across campus read the paper, few are familiar with the dedicated individuals behind the stories and headlines or the intricate process that goes into producing each issue. It all starts at the top with Colin Bulbrook, a senior journalism major and the editor-in-chief of Cardinal Points. Bulbrook describes their role as largely focused on overseeing the entire operation.
Throughout the week, I manage a team of editors. I oversee layout, I oversee production of a budget, I oversee printing, I oversee distribution, and I do a lot of editing, copy editing, and writing myself.
Beneath them is a team of 11 editors, supported by a larger group of writers who contribute to each issue. Next in line is Alexandra Sidorova, a senior journalism major who serves as both the managing and news editor. Sidorova's role comes with the responsibility of juggling two major positions, each with its own set of tasks and deadlines.
I like to think of managing editor role as a really housekeeping quality of life kind of role. That's why I really like it. But as news editor, I make sure the news section eats good. I make sure the news section is full of stories.
At Cardinal Points, the publication process may look different for each individual, but it always follows the same core of deadlines.
Well, it starts on Monday when the editors fill out their weekly budget and we review it in our meeting. And then we have a deadline until the weekend to write stories, so you have a full week to write a story. And at that point, it gets copy edited. Some points it does get sent back to the writer. And then a final edited version will go into the paper the Wednesday after, so about a week and a half after the story is proposed. And it will be published on Friday. So all in all, it's almost a 2-week process.
Sidorova also views it as a 2-week process, but as a section editor, she must also design the page's layouts.
On Wednesday nights on week 2, we put it into a neat little digital layout package, which sometimes goes into print. We continue working on that through Thursday, and on Friday it goes up.
On Wednesday, all the editors come together in the office to lay out the next issue, with Bulbuck describing the multifaceted operation.
People get in the office usually Wednesday evening, and at that point we do final copy editing on stories, and we take blank pages or pages from weeks before, and we lay out a brand new newspaper on InDesign.
Both have extensive experience with this process during their time at Cardinal Points, which spans over 5 semesters apiece. As they prepare to graduate this semester, they begin looking ahead to their futures beyond the publication.
Well, when people ask what I'm studying, I say Cardinal Points. I really hope I do continue to do some kind of feature writing, and I really like doing profiles and features, and especially about sports, but stories are everywhere. Sports is just where you find stories the easiest.
As an international student, Sidorova brings a unique background that she plans to apply to her future career.
So I really love to do some culturally aware reporting, or even report in my native language, which is Russian. That I think would just be the cream of the crop. Did I use that phrase right?
Despite the departure of 2 experienced staff members, Cardinal Points plans to print bi-weekly next semester and will continue weekly online publications. Visit www.cardinalpointsonline.com to see their work and stay updated on college news.
Our final package profiles a familiar face in the communications department, Bruce Carlin. Stay tuned.
I'm back. Looking for something on the cheaper side, but still want to live that
elevated lifestyle that I do?
Take a look at this thing, and it's only a
couple $100.
Unfortunately, it is wheelchair inaccessible, but if this one ain't for it,
then boy, do I got the next one for you.
Don't mind that.
Hey, pretty nice though, huh?
All this can be yours for just one forged passport for anywhere but here. If you like what you see, call now at Bobby's Bungalows so I can put a roof over your head.
Our final package is produced by Spencer, McKenna, and Owen, and our very own Chris Sperano. Now, Chris, this is all about our department's very own Bruce, right?
Yes. Yep. So the documentary is about, the interview more or less is about Bruce Carlin making a documentary. It was called Return to Auschwitz, and what that was about was a professor that taught at Plattsburgh, who was whatchamacallit, I'm losing my train of thought, was a Holocaust survivor. Right. Yep. And he was going back to Auschwitz to visit one last time, at the end of his life. Mm-hmm. So Bruce and his crew wanted to go on that journey with him.
That sounds very interesting. I can't wait to see it.
It's an extremely interesting interview.
Well, let's take a look when we come back from this break. Stay tuned.
This is Chris Sperano. You probably know me as that host on that random talk show that you see popping up on YouTube every few weeks. But today, I am selling you the product of the decade. Introducing nothing. Yes, folks, that's right. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. What is nothing? I don't know. Why am I selling it? I don't know. Because it's nothing, so I don't know what it is. But today, you can get nothing for the cheap price of $99.99.
Welcome back. It's time for our 5th and final package. Can't wait to see it, Chris.
About your work with Paul Frederick and the various documentaries you made.
Well, I've made 2 documentaries with Paul. Both of them were on PBS. Both were nationally distributed, and both were Emmy nominated. One won an Emmy.
Congratulations.
Thank you. The Documentaries are a labor of love. You don't make money on documentaries unless you can get a grant at the beginning of the process, and you make the money through the actual doing the work, the production. But we knew we wouldn't make money on it. We love the subject matter, and we wanted to do the documentaries. Yeah.
Now, what was your favorite documentary you made?
Well, it has to be the last one I did, which was Return to Auschwitz, which won the Emmy. But that was very moving to actually go there with Vladimir Monk, who was a retired professor from Plattsburgh State. He was a Holocaust survivor. He had also escaped out of Czech Republic in 1968 and come to Plattsburgh. And he never talked about the Holocaust when he was a teacher here. He was a biochemistry teacher, and when he retired, he and his wife, who was also a Holocaust survivor, started to go to local schools and talk to kids about what the Holocaust was like for them. And then in 2020, he was invited back to go to Auschwitz for the liberation commemoration, the 75th anniversary of when the Russians liberated that camp.
Yeah, and pardon me, it's amazing when you have someone like that, because you get, in school we can get history from a textbook, but to have it come from someone that actually witnessed it, it's a completely different perspective and a completely different window than what you would read in a textbook.
Yep,
much more touching.
He stood on the platform, and Dr. Mengele chose his father to go and be murdered, and then he was 19 and in good shape. He was picked for slave labor with about a 3-month survival chance. That's the way the Nazis did it. They calculated how many calories you needed to continue to work for about 3 months before you died, and then that's what they did.
Yeah, and when Vladimir Monk went back to Auschwitz, what was his feelings there? Did he gain all those memories back, or was it some other feeling?
No, it was like he's, in his words, he said he was visiting a cemetery. He was going to the place where his parents were dead and in the atmosphere and dust and ashes. They were incinerated. He had 30 aunts, uncles, and cousins all murdered there. And he was going back to pay his last respects to them.
Well, Plattsburgh, that's all we have for you today. Thank you for watching the Burghy Sunrise Special.
Congratulations to all the hard work of our entire team.
Both the packages and this broadcast would not be possible without the great team here and you wonderful viewers.
Have a great day, Plattsburgh.